Hello and welcome to another Fantasy Hockey Sleepers video for the 2021 NHL season. Today I'm doing the West Division. I've already done videos on the East and Central Division. If you want to check them out, they're on the channel. You can click on my name. It will take you to all the videos I've done and they should be right there. If you like the channel, please subscribe. I've had a decent amount of people subscribe in the last few days. It really helps grow the channel. Like the video too if you like the video. That gets the video shown to more people. Without further ado, let's get right into the West Division with the Anaheim Ducks. Going a little off the board here, but I think this is a possible home run hit. I expect him to make the Ducks. I'd be surprised if he didn't because of the display he's put on at the World Juniors and what he did at BU last year, which college hockey is pretty physical. Not NHL physical, but it's pretty physical, and he could hang. He put up above a point per game there, put up above a point per game in World Juniors last year, and is going to put up above a point per game in World Juniors this year. He puts up over a point per game wherever he goes. I don't expect that right away in the NHL, but I expect him to be a productive NHLer right away. And I could see him being a winger for Getzlaf. Wouldn't shock me at all if he's a winger right off the bat, just so he can get top 6 minutes. And if he does, that's where I think the value comes with Trevor Zegras being a good pickup off the waiver wire or in the later rounds of your draft. Definitely not one of the best sleepers on this list, but someone you should definitely keep an eye on because he could turn some heads with his production. We then move on to Arizona, which I think this is one of the most talented players who's ranked outside of the top 100, and that'd be Clayton Keller. Now, the situation is why he's going this late. He's not playing with the best line mates. Derek Stepan just got traded. Expect Barrett Hayton in that role. How good is Barrett Hayton? Not 100% sure, to be honest. But I think he's a bit of an upgrade offensively over Derek Stepan. And Phil Kessel still has some juice in the tank. That being said, it is Clayton Keller's line to run. And he is really going to determine how this line goes. And he really needs to take that next step. 22 years old. He was dubbed the Patrick Kane clone at BU because of how he played. Now it's time to turn into that player that people expected you to. Otherwise, it's pretty disappointing. But I expect him to because he's just that talented, and I think he's finally going to get his consistency back. He put up 65 points in his first full season in the NHL. I think he's more so that player than the 40-point getter we've seen in the last 2 years. So let's hope Clayton Keller does that. I expect him to get back to that, I should say. This is a video of me telling you who to draft, and I expect him to. So I'll probably be aiming for Clayton Keller in my later rounds. Being drafted in 40% of leagues at 178, not a big risk to get him. I think he's very much worth the pick there. We then move on to Colorado. And this line I like a lot. Kadri, Burakovsky, and Saad. I did the math to see how many goals they all would have got last year had they played a full 82. They're all around the 30-goal mark. This line can score. You look at the first line, you're like, wow. And then you look at the second line, and they're like, underrated scorers right here. All of them put the puck in the net. So I expect Brandon Saad's assist numbers to go up a decent bit from last year. I expect those goal numbers to be around the 30-goal pace they were at last year. And with that being said, that is a very possible top 100 player. Not saying he's going to do it because I don't think he's the most explosive player himself, but the situation's there. If he was somehow to get on that first power play unit, I'd even give him more of a shot at top 100. I don't think he will, though, but I think he's a good value pick and a very safe pick at 167 to be close to the top 100, if not in it. Maybe not in it, but I think he's a very good pick at where he's going and a very safe one. We then go with the LA Kings, and this is Anze Kopitar. Now, this is a guy who's not really a sleeper, but just a really underrated player when it comes to fantasy this year with his draft stock at 136.6. To give you an idea, let's just round out. He's 137th average pick. Last year in my fantasy league, he finished ranked 37. Why do they think he's going to drop 100 spots in the rankings? I can't figure it out. It's not like his wingers were downgraded that much at all. I think it's the exact same wingers he got last year he's getting this year. He's a 1 year older at 33. That's usually not when players drop off significantly, if at all. So I have no reason to think he isn't going to put up similar production driving the LA Kings first line, driving their power play and all that. He should put up very similar numbers to last year and probably be a top 50 player again. That being said, let's move on to the next team, which is Minnesota. And let's get our first goalie off the board. First goalie. I'm not a big goalie guy here. I'm not considering myself a goalie expert, but I like the situation Cam Talbot's going into. Had a bounce back year with Calgary where he dropped a .919 save percentage, 2.63 goals against average in 26 games played. This year he's going to get the lion's share of the starts considering he doesn't mess up too bad, but I will say you should draft Cam Talbot as your third goalie because the potential of him being the quality of a second goalie is definitely there. And if you can have one top tier goalie, a second good solid tier goalie, and then Cam Talbot, who has the potential to be another second tier quality goalie, you're in very good shape with your goaltending when you have 3 of them, like people do in my league mostly. Some people in my league even run 4 goalies. But if you do draft Cam Talbot, keep your eyes on the guy I have in the bottom left here, which is Kaapo Kähkönen, won AHL goalie of the last year, and definitely could take the drop from Talbot if he slips up and Kaapo Kähkönen lives up to the hype. That being said, though, I expect it to be Cam Talbot's job. I don't think he'll falter that much. And at the draft stock of 171.8, 39% of leagues he's going in, you can't miss out on the value here, in my opinion, and he's worth the shot at that point because finding good goalies late is just so tough. But I think Cam Talbot could be that for your fantasy team this year. Move on to San Jose, and I really don't like many sleepers here, but I'm going with Anze Kopitar-like pick, where I think this guy is severely underrated. Now, you got Thomas Hertl, who 2 seasons ago put up 35 goals. So he's going at 116. If you score 35 goals, probably not going to be going that late. But because of injuries last year to him, and injuries to one of the best players on the team, Logan Couture, his draft stock's gone a little back because, what have you done for me lately is the type of response. Well, Thomas Hertl's 27. If you watch him play, he's got skills for days. And he should probably go back to his goal-scoring form of being a 30-plus goal scorer in this league just because of the talent. He plays on the first power play unit. He's on the second line. He's going to be centering that. Sadly, he doesn't get to play with Evander Kane and Logan Couture as often as he will. But on the power play, this is one of the better power play units on paper. I expect with a fully healthy Couture and Hertl this year, they will go up a lot higher in the rankings. And I think the Sharks are a sleeper team to bounce back this year. Goaltending has me questioning that. I'm not sure what Devin Dubnyk is anymore. But at 116.7, I think Thomas Hertl is a fairly good pick who can probably finish in the top 75, maybe even top 50 if the Sharks bounce back as much as they could. We then move on to St. Louis with another young guy here, Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas is going really late in drafts, and he's going to be a first liner on the St. Louis Blues this year, or a second liner if you consider this a second line. On a daily faceoff, it's listed as a first, but I think that second line's a little more talented, considering it has Ryan O'Reilly and Mike Hoffman on it now, if you want to talk about that. That's going to be a pretty good line. But Robert Thomas, because of the Tarasenko injury, is a top 6 forward right now. When Tarasenko comes back, will he be? I don't know. He's going to have to fight David Perron. It really depends how good is Robert Thomas doing. How healthy is Vladimir Tarasenko? Will he be able to come back on time? He's being evaluated or reevaluated mid-February. So there's a few question marks here. But in the early parts of the season, Robert Thomas is very deserving of being on your roster and has a shot to, in the early parts of the season, be close to a top 100 player until Tarasenko comes back. And with that being said, you can figure out a way to work Robert Thomas into your lineup, in my opinion, now and deal with that issue later because he could be productive enough to the point he wins you some games early in the season you might not win. That being said, 42 points in 66 games last year, decent pace. He's 21 years old. You expect him to only get better. You wouldn't expect a decline there, especially with the first-line role he's going to be in for the beginning of the season. And I think he's very worthy of a late-round pick or a pickup off the waiver wire. As you can see, he's only being drafted in 2% of leagues. But I think he's someone you should definitely keep your eye on. And now we get into my favorite prospect in the video, and that is Cody Glass. This man is being sent to the moon this year. He's going to be in a top 6 role. Vegas got rid of Paul Stastny, which means that Cody Glass is expected to take the spot in the top 6 and probably be centering Max Pacioretty and Mark Stone, who were the 2 leading scorers on Vegas last year, both finishing with about 60-some points in 70 games, which is fantastic for Cody Glass, who's known for his offensive creativity, offensive ability. Pacioretty's been on record saying he loves playing with Glass, so I'd be expecting this to be the line. It's listed as the line on Daily Faceoff. Only 12 points in 39 games last year. I believe he had 9 in his first 11 games, though. And then he dealt with injuries. I don't believe he was playing on the top lines anymore. But if you put him with elite talent, this guy's going to create. He's put on some weight in the offseason, too. This is a prospect I really like, and I think he's going to do very well this year with Pacioretty and Stone. And I think he's going to do a lot better offensively than Paul Stastny did with them last year. I think this line scoring might just only go up this year. Rumors of Pacioretty getting traded, I don't buy them. I expect him to be a Knight. I expect this line to produce a lot of points this year. And you should definitely get Cody Glass, who's only being drafted in 3% of leagues. Ridiculous. 167.3 average draft spot. I'd say he's worth the pick there and has top 100 potential. Real top 100 potential if he stays on this line this whole year, which I expect him to. So that's everything I have for this video. As I say always, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. It shows the channel support, gets the video recommended more. Hit the subscribe button if you want to watch more of my content. It really helps the channel as well. Follow me on Twitter. I don't tweet a ton, But, you know, if I tweet, you'll see it. You can message me more directly on there too. I'd respond to anyone who messages me, to be honest, so feel free to go there. And that's all I have for you in this video today. I hope you enjoyed it, as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.